guests, friends, and family. Today we're going to take a quick look back at the life and times of Mel Glenn. And because of his rich literary history, we will take a page from a classic novel as we revisit some moments from the past. So, with our sincere apologies to Dickens, we begin.
Great expectations.
It is a cold and snowy Christmas Eve in London, and Ebenezer Scrooge has just told Bob Cratchit to throw his son Tiny Tim into a river.
I think that's the wrong page.
Sorry, my bad, got it. Okay. It is a warm and sunny day in Brooklyn, and Mel Glenn has just had a lovely day of eating at the diner, being distracted at King's Plaza, thank you again, Chuck, and walking around the park. He was, unlike Mr. Scrooge, he was charming and polite to everybody he encountered. But as day turns to evening, and he prepares for bed, he's visited by, I don't know, like a half dozen ghosts? Now don't worry. These ghosts aren't scary, they're cool. And they're here to talk about all the awesome stuff Mel has done. And because he's a poet, they humor him by speaking in verse. So these ghosts are representations of Mel himself at various points in his life. We shall give them each a visual identifier of some sort. I wonder what would work best.
Sorry, forgot I'm a kid in this scene. So, I'm the ghost of Mel, who when he was just a boy, living in Switzerland, the Alps, are all my toys. I hear my folks telling me we're going to New York, where Jews can live free. We can also eat pork. We get on a boat, we cross the seas, we ditch the name Glenn Baki, call us the Glenn family. Dad is a doctor, he wants me to follow, but blood makes me woozy and forget the coffin swallowed. Turns out medicine just isn't for me. If only there was something that paid less. An English degree.
Okay. I'm the ghost of Mel from NYU downtown. I write for the paper. My words are all profound. I pay $60 a month to live on Sullivan Street. There's a bathtub in the kitchen. I can bathe while I eat.
Okay, goes three.
I'm the ghost of Mel from his Peace Corps days. I'm all idealistic, not yet set in my ways. I have a great time teaching English to my class. But snakes in the toilet are a pain in the... I hang out in Sierra Leone, which used to be Ceylon. But much like my hair, that name would soon be gone. I walk in a room and the students all rise. I look behind to see if there's a more important guy. But the children are just polite, and they're all really sweet. Better than today's kids with all their texting and tweets.
I'm the ghost of Mel. From Montague Street, I teach middle school to adolescents in heat. I spend evenings in my place a little bit alone until a knock on my door. It's before we all had cell phones. It was a young lady who called herself Elise. She was collecting for charity for cancer relief. I didn't know at the time she waited for a day with low humidity so her hair would be okay. In addition to money, I offer her my arm, and I do my best to turn up my charm. She lived up on 7, I was on the 3rd floor, but soon I moved upstairs and we put both our names on the door. It couldn't be better, and you know how it goes. We would soon marry, my greatest move, I suppose.
All right.
I'm the ghost from Mel of his writing time. I use legal pads, and my verses are sublime. I write my first book after my wife made a dare. Challenge accepted is poetic warfare. Second place in a writing contest makes me pretty cheery. I would have gotten first. Damn you, Beverly Cleary. I work with Houghton Mifflin, and I write a dozen works. I get invited to schools. I get all of the perks. I'm a famous poet, as famous as they get, which isn't all that famous, but it's more than you don't forget.
6, excellent. Who's that? Notice the teacher.
I'm the ghost of Mel from Lincoln High. My students, they all love me because I'm the dopest white guy. I see them everywhere, at the mall during blizzards, even in the labor room when Andrew was delivered. True story. I spent 34 years educating youth, fixing their grammar, dropping bombs of truth. I show them how to write the school paper with my pipe and jacket. I'm basically Don Draper.
Yeah. Oh. That one. Nope. So I'm the ghost of Mel from his retirement. I'm really just loving my environment. The diner in the mornings, maybe a class at noon, plenty to do, but no rushing anywhere soon. I got breakfast with the Greeks, I play ping pong with the Russians. They tell me Trump's great, but I respond with his corruptions. I walk around the park at least 10 times a day. It's my exercise to keep my body from decay. I get hit by a car, but I just keep on moving because vehicles, they can't stop me. They can't spoil my grooving. My wife goes out birding and travels around the world, and sometimes I join her because she's my best girl. I go back to Africa. Africa ghost. I remember younger Mel. I hang out with lions. I'm living pretty well. I write like lots of books. I'm still quite the poet. The New York Times knows me because I know how to throw it. I have some decent sons, except, I have a great wife. Sorry, Mr. Dickens. It turns out I'm more Frank Capra because this is a wonderful life. Hey, well done, everybody. Well done. Come out, Chris. Come out. You go with the mustache. Yes, well done. Yes. Mustache straw. Well done. Now, Mel, how are you feeling about your 75th birthday with all your friends gathered here to celebrate you? No pressure.
No pressure at all. I don't feel on the spot at all. But
You're fine.
But I thank you all for coming. This was a complete surprise. Complete surprise. I don't know how Elise, Joan, and others did it. I'm very happy. And to have my life reviewed by my eyes, it's something, and I really appreciate it.
Well done, Dad. We love you. Happy 75th. All right. Now, who needs a drink? That's it. Shows. Oh no, there's a juggling act later, but.
Okay. You know what? I want to say something.
Yes, Mom. Excellent. Say it up.
Okay. I want to thank everyone for coming. You can sit back. You're not going to yet. Thank everyone for coming to celebrate Mel's 75th birthday. I've been waiting 10 months for him to catch up to me. I especially, well, I want to thank so many of you, but Joan, where is Joan?
She just wants to get the cake because she never stops working.
Oh my God. Okay, let me thank Joan afterwards. Let me thank everyone, my kids and their girlfriends who are so wonderful, and fiancé who are so wonderful too. And thank everyone who was in on the secret for keeping the secret for more than 2 months.
Really?
And yes. And I had written a shout out to someone who isn't here, but who helped make this possible, but now it's like semi-helpful. That was your student, Chris, who fortunately showed up at the library for tutoring today. That was the plan, that you were supposed to be at the library until 1 o'clock and come home at 2.
Right.
But we did have to go to Plan B since the student left at 11:30, and luckily Chuck was there to help out. And thank goodness. And where is Joan? Has she appeared? Joan. Okay, so I am thanking people, and I was about to thank you.
I told
But
her.
now I'm going to.
And Jen, thank you.
Okay, well, thank you, Joe, and Jan. And you are my dearest friend and confidant for nearly 40 years. And I don't know that I could have pulled this off without you and your help and your great expertise.
Oh, thank you,
Thank you, Joan.
Just to be clear, all the rest of us are extraneous.
No, there are
Thank
no best
you.
friends in this group.
Thank you, everyone, for
Really
coming
sweet.
and making this just a
Very
wonderful, memorable day.
The
for
pictures
our
are,
town. Thank you.
people in the pictures on the wall.
It's mostly you. You're just admiring pictures. Who is that handsome devil with the moustache? Oh, it's me as a child. Sorry about that.
No, thank you very much.
Good. We should all drink here.
Yeah, many drinks. Yay! Happy birthday, Dad. All right, back to drinking. Dad will be available to pose for pictures. You can sit on his lap. We'll send you a 5x7. It's going to be great. $10 a photo. I mean, you got the mustache. We'll get you a beer. It'll be fun. Well done. I don't know.
All right,
But thank you.